All right, time for our Trending in China segment. And really a hot topic that's circulating in social media here right now is a ruling by China's highest court has made it impossible for workers and their employers to waive social insurance contributions. And that's triggered a broader discussion about inequalities in the welfare system.
Yeah, let's bring in Minmin, our China correspondent, here with the story that's really making waves across it. Social insurance is already mandatory, but what's changed, I think, is what people might be wondering right now.
Yeah, so what's changed is that the highest court has now handed down this ruling that says that if an employee terminates a work contract because the employer is not paying social insurance, the employer now has to pay financial compensation. So what this means is that it makes it virtually impossible for employers and employees to come to informal agreements to waive the social insurance payments, which, even though is mandatory, has been extremely widespread. There was a survey last year of 6,000 firms that was conducted by an HR services firm called Zhonghe Group, which found that less than 30% of companies were fully compliant with paying social insurance. So on social media now, people are up in arms because a lot of people actually voluntarily want to waive the payment because they want to take home more pay. And of course, it's a cost savings for companies as well. And so there are concerns now about, whether or not, companies, especially small and mid-sized firms, would survive. And you can see here, someone is saying, the money I pay now is taken by the elderly. But if no one is having children, who's going to pay my social insurance to support me? So there's the idea that, your money is going to support someone else and there's none left for you, and there's concern about, okay, this is going to be bad for small businesses. People are going to lose their jobs. And there's also this idea that the social insurance is not very equal as well, because there are estimates that state-owned employees get about twice the amount of payouts compared to private firms' employees. And at the same time, rural residents get less than a tenth of what urban residents in private firms get. So some people just feel that they don't want to pay into a system that is quite broken.
Okay. There's also fears that the whole aging population is putting a strain on the pension system. I mean, do you see this as having any impact on the economy?
Yeah, it's a very legitimate concern because there is the aging population. 20 million people are going to retire every year over the next decade, and there are fewer and fewer births. That is, fewer people going into the workforce to contribute to this pool of money. So the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences back in 2019 already forecast that the state pension system could run out of money by 2035. Of course, it's possible that Beijing could intervene by, dipping into state funds to top up the pension system. But at the same time, right now, this new ruling, it's not clear the scale of the impact in terms of job cuts and wage cuts. But economists from SocGen, for example, are saying that if the impact is huge, it's possible the government may revise the policy later on, perhaps by delaying the implementation of this or creating some easing measures to help support companies to bear the burden, the financial cost of paying the social insurance payments.